Gari. She's our mother. She's a white spirit from Sky Country. She provides us food, water and shelter, and in return, we protect and preserve her.
Today, Western science and cultural land management come together on Gari.
I didn't come this far to let our ancestors down, but we have to get back to where science definitely can work with traditional methods.
In Butchulla language, Gari means paradise. And this World Heritage listed island is spectacular.
It's our creator, and we're part of it. They can go anywhere in the world and see shopping centre, hotels, but they come here to see culture, the beauty of the land, and for that moment, I think they look through cultural eyes to see what was appreciated and taken. Tourists come and go, traditional owners are here to stay.
Gari is the world's largest sand island, stretching 122 kilometres across 181,000 hectares. In 2020, disaster struck.
So far, 80,000 hectares have been scorched, half of Gari.
It started from an illegal campfire. The flames raged for 2 months. Following the devastating bushfires here on Gari in 2020, the Butchulla people, along with scientists, are looking at incorporating cultural burning techniques into modern-day fire management.
You come to realise the importance of custodial responsibilities in caring for country and what it involves, that it's not just burning but reading landscapes and burning at the right time for the right reasons.
After lots of preparation and favourable conditions, project members are ready to burn this plot of land. We are welcomed to this site with a traditional smoking ceremony. It's done to help cleanse this area and also to recognise the importance of the occasion. For thousands of years, the Butchulla people used fire, or gira, as a form of farming. It ensured certain plants and animals flourished. Resources were available, convenient and predictable.
Gives the animals a chance. And I'm not talking about animals as furry animals or feathers. I'm talking about the six-legged ones. It gives them time to, work it out. Oh, there's a bit of smoke, and that's good smoke. What's going up? White bluish smoke, so it's good jum, good smoke. And that gives them a signal. They start travelling up trees. Most people just, run a ring around it and say, that's it, yeah, high fives, have a beer or something like that. But, running a ring around it, what happens to all the animals inside? They get cooked. So really, it's a single ignition point. And the animal's got 360 degrees to escape.
Currently, there's a split between contemporary fire management practices and traditional First Nations approaches. Overall, fire management is primarily concerned with hazard reduction and protecting life and property. Traditional Indigenous approaches focus on healthy country that benefits biodiversity, native species, and clearing areas for hunting. This project will measure both approaches. There are 3 plots. One will be burned and contained using contemporary fire management techniques, one using traditional land practices, and the third is a control block which won't be burned.
You can't walk in front and expect people to follow. You can't walk behind and expect to lead. You have to do it together side by side. And if you make mistakes, then we did it together, not one or the other. But once we get back on top through this regime, I think Butchulla people will be on top of that, and we will look after our country as we did millennia.
We need to start from the start and build relationships and build trust in order to share knowledge and get that two-way knowledge sharing system happening where we can marry, the old science and the new science to create one science that gets better environmental outcomes for us all.
Today, the project members are preparing this site to burn.
A lot of these mid-storage predominant native weeds, such as your broadleaf wattle we got through here. We're clearing out by hand. If we can't pull them out by hand, we use brush cutters. And if the brush cutter can't get through them, we use chainsaws.
I'll follow you up here.
Yeah, let's go. I'll show you where we started off. This is very good country. It's hard yakka.
Yeah.
It's really great for your health.
Yeah.
Getting back into it, reconnecting. When we started here, you could feel this breeze now.
Yeah.
You couldn't feel it before. It was just real muggy, sticky, walking through here. As soon as we opened up a corridor,
yeah,
it was like, whew.
It is very different from standing over there.
Yeah. And if you could see, we're trying to bring back the identity, which is some of your smaller shrubs, your midgeonberries and your soap bush, and some of these little banksias as well.
Yeah.
This is part of the cultural burning. Is the manual labour, is getting back in here, looking at country, walk around, understanding your country, know what's here.
Yeah. The project is also using drones to map areas that are appropriate to clear and burn. Elevation models, high-resolution drone vision, and light detection and ranging, or LiDAR imagery, are being utilised to map terrain.
So it's taking photos, which is good, because data is everything.
So that's what's photographing, yeah.
Yep, so as it goes along. Sorry, it's a bit hard to see.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we just had to make sure we're above the tree line there. So we've got a nice clear picture. This is the fun stuff, flying it, setting it all up, putting in the grid, collecting the data. That's all the time-consuming stuff.
We're also taking modern measurements such as eDNA, which is environmental DNA, so we will get those results back shortly. We've been setting camera traps to look at the animals that move through here. We've identified some pest species such as cats that are on the island, big burly cats, so we need to address that.
This block itself will be a block that we can train our up-and-coming fire practitioners on as well. It'll be a safe block for them to train on. We've got to teach our mob that it's not just about coming out and putting a bit of fire on the ground. As you can see here, there's preparation and doing fire.
Would you like to see more women get involved in the project?
Absolutely.
I think so, yeah.
Unequivocally, yes.
Yeah.
We're just as strong as men, so we love the hard work as well.
Yeah.
The important thing to remember here too, that when we're working in the fire space on country, we have gender-specific areas, men's areas, women's only areas. So to build the Butchulla women's capacity in the fire space is very important so that we can go and look after women's areas.
There are places on Gowrie where you can see the benefits of traditional burning approaches. Is this your dream for that other site and really for other parts of Gowrie to
Like
be
this,
like this?
mate, you can see through.
Yeah.
You know, the old people wouldn't be able to throw a bloody spear or anything like that through thick country, so this is perfect.
And how healthy the trees look.
Yeah, well, you know, look at their canopy. Oh, it's just a beautiful place. I mean, you know, who wouldn't love to come here and, you know, and just roll out a swag?
A group of experts have been brought in to offer scientific expertise for the pilot program.
We've had vegetation experts here doing transects, measuring plant species in terms of diversity, but also native versus exotic plants. We'll do that before and after fire.
So we've been working on developing an assessment technique that is of a scientific base that assesses the vegetation condition and sort of the fire resilience of vegetation communities. At the moment it's a very scientific piece, and the idea is that what we do can then be used to monitor change over time in different management treatments. It's a fascinating thing to do, to travel through the landscape with the traditional custodians, because they have a different eye and a different lens.
It's amazing to see this work progressing. You know, a lot of Australian communities and our landscapes are left exposed due to really extreme weather events and climate change, and it's amazing to see community coming together and really working together to create new ways of measuring the benefits of cultural land management.
Another big part of the project is passing on knowledge from seniors to young traditional owners in cultural burning knowledge.
I love healing country as well. I think we're doing our part in bringing back that tradition of burning country the right way.
The damage from the 2020 bushfires is all throughout the island.
Some of it is still scarred there today. It's like a landscape of the moon, because the intense heat within sand just keeps on going down and down and down, and it takes a lot of that to come back, you know. As where cooler burns, well, you're not having that intense heat.
But parts of Gari are still spectacular, and that's what they want to protect.
I don't know whether we'll stop the risk of bushfire, because they're natural disasters and they would have always happened as well. But what I do know is that if we work together, we can protect the areas that need protecting from either a cultural, tourism or biodiversity perspective, but we'll get a much better collaborative and deeper understanding of how we need to manage going forward. Its name by definition, Gari, is paradise, and it most certainly is that. And it's the largest sand island in the world. It's adjacent to the Great Sandy Straits, the Pacific Ocean on the other side, and the continental shelf there. Everything's happening here, and it's alive. You spend time here and you realise how alive this area is.
I always say to people, if I was to mention the pyramids, the first thing that comes into their head is the Egyptians and their culture. If you were to say Gari, they say great tourist place. So we've got to get the perception back where it's Butchulla country.